everybody, I'm Michael Monaco.
And I'm Bobby Salveson, and we are the Hazmat Guys, bringing you the knowledge and insight to make your job a little bit easier and safer. But before today's show, let's listen to our sponsors. Hey guys, when you're on a hazmat run, we want you to be safe. We want you to feel confident that you have the best equipment available and that you are ready to respond. That's where All Safe Industries comes to mind. They have technical experts on staff that offer the latest in detection and emergency response equipment from the most reputable brands in the industry. All Safe Industries takes the time to understand your needs, and they offer unique options in their in-case calibration gas detection kits. They also hold a GSA contract and offer GSA pricing to state and local agencies. All Safe Industries is veteran-owned and has been serving first responders from coast to coast since 1996. Visit allsafeindustries.com or call 888-972-3389. That spells 8889-SAFETY. Hey guys, you know we say it all the time. In emergency responses, clear and reliable radio communication is essential. And that's why Cavcom's award-winning Talk Through Your Ears technology is compatible with any two-way radio, any suit, and any respirator. Visit CavcomInc.com, that's CAVCOMINC.com, or call them at 866-547-4988.
Now let's get into the show.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Hazmat Guys. We got a very special hot wash going on. We are recording right now from an incredible suite overlooking most of Baltimore and the beautiful stadium that is usually empty during the games. Totally besides the point. We are talking with three gentlemen and one three gentlemen and one who would prefer not to have his gender identified by us.
That's me.
Oh. Okay. Anyway, so we're doing a hot wash, a little incident that happened in somewhere city, in somewhere state, and I think we got some really cool shit ahead of us.
Yeah, we're in Baltimore, so that's good in itself. I think, you know what? That stadium's
Empty.
Yeah, but you can be totes jelly of our room.
It's
They
a
are.
nice room.
It's pretty good, right?
It's a nice room. All right.
All right, so anyway, let's paint the scene. Somebody start talking. I want to hear, because we've been kind of removing ourselves from the whole...
I have literally been covering my ears every time somebody tries to tell this story because if you know me, you know I like to hear everything fresh on air. So somebody start from the beginning.
Yeah.
All right, so it starts with a regional hazmat response that brings 5 hazmat technicians to a city that has requested assistance with a mercury spill.
All right, so just because I don't know how your regional responses are, so you have 5 different levels.
Correct.
So what is level 1 the best or the worst? What
Level 1 is like an advisory investigation.
So it's like a single engine kind of thing?
Yeah, so it's 5 technicians, it's advice, and if it's something small, we'll just handle it. So a lot of times like a mercury spill, we'll just take care of it.
Okay, so it's above the level of like a car accident with a little bit of speedy dry type application, right?
Yeah,
so,
local FD usually takes care of, most of that stuff.
Okay, and then 2, it goes up to 5, which is like a national level, FEMA.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. The whole state's moving.
The whole state's moving. Okay,
Correct.
gotcha.
So 5 technicians respond to this first level of response. Usually it's for a mercury spill, we're going to get there, take a look, we'll meter it, and we'll clean it up, mitigate the whole thing ourselves, and be done with it in maybe an hour and a half.
Yeah.
So those are pretty
very
straightforward.
small term spills. We have capabilities.
Okay. And you guys have what? Vacuums, amalgam,
Duct
etc.
tape.
Duct
yeah.
tape,
You know?
chem tape.
Yeah.
It's a milk, exactly. It's a milk run for us. We do them all the time.
Yeah.
It's easy. Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
So usually it's going to be a thermometer, blood pressure cuff, something like that. In and out. So you get this on a Saturday afternoon and you're saying, I'm in, I'm out. This is a home run all day long.
Back for the game.
Right. So first technician arrives, meets the incident commander, gets the report that we have 4 dead pets, 1 person in the ICU, 1 person sitting in the ambulance waiting for advice, and our initial thought is, okay, we don't have mercury here. This is not mercury.
Right.
Yeah, it came out as a mercury call, so I was a little further away. It was a Saturday afternoon, so it was a little more difficult to get some people to respond. So we have 45 technicians that cover this area.
Right.
Anybody first on scene? Or within the technician world, who was, out of the 4 of you were the first one on scene.
Right.
First one, I was second.
When you got to scene, what was already in front of you?
So 1 engine, 1 district chief, and an ambulance.
Okay.
So it's you pull up and you're like, oh, this is normally how it looks when we get to a mercury call. And like I said, that first report, I'm listening, I'm being polite, but I'm like, yeah, this ain't Mercury.
Right. The first thing that's striking me is Mercury is a chronic problem. Over time, this sounds very acute.
Right.
Like this is like now.
Yeah.
A lot of things
I'm
just
like,
happen.
okay, we're gonna find CO, or
Right.
It's a 6-family, 3-story tenement style neighborhood, houses right on top of each other, and I'm like, yeah, this is a 150-year-old building. It's gotta be CO,
Right.
right? Or someone's making something inside, right?
Or maybe somebody dropped a thermometer because they're dizzy from the CO. Any multiple things could
Right,
be happening.
layering
Right,
could be
layering
happening,
could be
yeah.
happening.
Yeah, and when you get like 4 dead animals and one person in the ICU, I'm like, that's nice. I'm listening to the incident commander. I'm like, this is nice. Yeah, thank you. And I'm walking away going, yeah, we are in for something else.
Yeah.
Right. Totally. That's crazy. First off, that's crazy. All right, go ahead.
Okay, so the next couple techs arrive and our vehicle arrive. We do our quick hazmat huddle. I give the briefing to the members that are arriving. One of which says, "Are we out of here yet? We done? You guys finished it?"
Like, all right,
You guys
you
get
guys
this all
get this
cleaned
all
up?
wrapped up, right? We're out of here.
So what was the thought in the huddle?
So I get the guys together and like I said, he says, "All right, you guys get this done yet?" Because we've been there for a few minutes, and I said, "All right, we got a problem." And I said it came in as a Mercury call, but we got 1 in the ICU, we got 1 in the ambulance, and we have 4 dead pets. I said, so they're telling me it's Mercury, but I think we're going to find something else.
At this point, no meter readings.
We haven't done anything.
We haven't
yet,
done anything.
Whereas when we arrive, individually in personally owned vehicles or department vehicles, and we have to wait for our equipment to arrive.
Okay.
Which happens, pretty quickly.
Yeah. Okay.
So we come up with our quick hazmat huddle, and we're gonna do a quick survey, see what's going on. So
So we get some background information, and it turns out this has been a problem for the last 3 weeks to a month, right?
Here comes the chronic.
Yeah.
right.
So there's a gentleman in the ICU was seen in the local hospital. So one of the first things we did as part of our survey is we wanted to get one of the contaminated victims off into the hospital. So this was in February. It was about, I don't know,
9-10 degrees.
9-10 degrees. So it was
Okay.
pretty cold. Yeah.
So it's Texas, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we're starting to hone in on the area.
Gotcha. Yeah. I was thinking New Mexico for a little while,
All
but
right.
I can see the Texas.
In the mountains, yeah.
Yeah,
In
mountains.
the mountains,
Yeah, very
cold,
cold.
right? Okay, good.
So we immediately, with the Jerome, start getting readings off the patient, off the 2 paramedics in the ambulance, and we could see that this was really starting to evolve.
Wow.
So
And some of the first readings we got as we entered the back of the ambulance were 75 micrograms per meter squared.
Now, just to put this
What's
into
the-
perspective, I
yeah.
think it's 0.01
yes.
is the Agil 2. I think it. Don't hold me to that, but off the top of my head, that's the
01 was, yeah, and
01 is-
05 is like the,
for residential and one's commercial.
yeah, 05 I think was the commercial for 8-hour exposure.
Yeah.
Doesn't really matter, but
0.01
it's-
is residential.
It's a lot more.
So you're
We're
talking
75.
I'm just doing the math real quick. 705 and their Angel 2 is 0.01. You're talking 7,000 times safe level.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Got it. We're tracking.
Sounds right.
Yeah.
So
There's a lot of math involved that day.
Yeah.
So just keep in mind, the
70,000
IDLH is
times.
10. IDLH for Mercury
Is
10
10
what?
micrograms.
is 10 micrograms meter cubed.
And we're at 70. So it's 7
Milligrams.
times
It's milligrams
IDLH.
per meter cube, isn't it?
We're at 70 or 705
What is it, milligrams?
micrograms.
The patient, the person in the ambulance, is 75.6 micrograms per meter
Micrograms.
cubed.
IDLH is milligrams.
IDLH is 10 milligrams per
Okay.
meter cubed.
Okay.
Yeah. We had these conversations in the street.
No, this is good.
No,
because-
but this is the because I got to tell you, with Mercury,
I don't have it
everybody
memorized.
sits. Yeah, everybody sits and is like, oh, what? And then you have the whole micrograms, milligrams. It confuses
Yeah.
the hell out of everybody. So this is perfect.
Yeah.
But that day I can tell you that we saw some of the highest mercury readings I've ever seen. In almost 20 years of hazmat, so it was
Ever.
unbelievable.
That's incredible.
So we decided. So my buddy and I over there, we decided to make entry into this building.
What PPE?
Tyvek.
Okay.
SCBA. Chicken
Just a
boots.
tape front,
Yep.
booties on.
Yep.
Okay.
With SCBA, respiratory protection. With,
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. So we walk in initially right out of the gate. We're getting meter readings for mercury right at the threshold.
So more than 1 meter, right? I mean, because if I saw 75 on this thing, I'd be like, give me another meter. There's no freaking way.
So we only had one Jerome available to us at this time, but as we start hearing the story, we start understanding
It's
why
clicking.
we're getting these readings. Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
good enough.
Yeah. So we actually did call for a second Jerome, but we decided to send it to the hospital, as opposed to knowing that we're going to be sending people.
Okay, so we split resources.
Yeah.
Cool.
So that was actually, I'll back up and talk about the patient. So we knew she was contaminated. We were getting readings. The paramedics were contaminated. So then we just, again, when you read the book about decontaminating patients and spraying them off in the street, that sounds great in California
Right,
or Texas.
Not in
but
February.
not where we are. So so we really struggle with that because it's really urban, heavily populated area. It's.
And it's not like you could just bring them into a school and say, use the showers in the
No.
boys' You can't do that.
No.
And we actually considered sending her back into the house, but the readings were so off the charts we didn't want to,
Yeah, it made
she
it
would have
worse.
never
Worse.
she would have never made it out of the house without getting recontaminated.
Holy cow.
So the decision was made to at least try and remove some of the gross contamination by removing her out of clothing. So a female medic was in the ambulance with the patient, and they removed her clothing, put her in a Tyvek suit, and we went back in remeted, and we were still getting 30 micrograms per meter squared of mercury readings off of her, removing gross decontamination, which was
That's a lot.
significant. Yeah, it was still really
So, all
significant.
right, let me ask you just a side note. Because a lot of times that hair holds mercury, vapor, liquid, whatever it might be. Did you consider maybe capping the head? I would love to say, boy, you shave a head, but that's not real. We couldn't do that.
So covering the head, we did consider that, and actually we did wrap her in blankets to try and withhold
Muffle it, hold
and,
it.
and it was emitting
Way
all
too
over the
much.
place. Yeah, it just nothing we could do was really gonna slow down.
Did you try the exit bag over the head?
We thought about that, but then there was some liability issues we were into later
We do
on,
have
so-
branded the hazmat guys exit bags, which are
And-
coming out.
Yeah, we're waiting for those. We're waiting for those. Next time, as soon as they get deployed.
And the decon soaps that are burnt almonds and musty hay.
Yep,
smelling.
yep, those will be fantastic. Yeah,
Awesome.
yeah.
Big sellers.
You gotta try scented candles with those too.
Amidst buying the whole line.
So we get to this point where we've meted the person in the back of the ambulance. We got high readings. We remove the gross decon, take all the clothes off, put her in Tyvek, and we're now cut up the readings in half. So while the members are outside putting together their plan to
Meanwhile,
get dressed,
we're still getting detectable levels of mercury off of the medics.
right?
It's another issue. Yeah.
Did they end up going inside the building at some point?
Fire did,
Okay.
and we metered their turnout gear, and they had basically nothing.
Okay.
Good.
The medics were just because they were touching.
Handling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was the readings on the hands? Was it like, okay, I take off my gloves and it went down, kind of thing? If I took off my gloves, or was it on their sleeves? All right.
Yeah, they were heavy sweatshirts and stuff. And so
Okay.
it was-
Yeah, it's cold.
So while the members start putting together their PPE, I sat and I interviewed the person in the back of the ambulance. So I was trying to get the story of what's going on here. So we get there because animal control has been called to the house to pick up the fourth dead animal
In 2 weeks.
in 2 weeks. So the fourth dead animal has died. Animal control gets there, calls fire. Fire gets there, calls us.
Same family or
All
different
s-
families within the building?
All same apartment.
Same apartment. Okay.
So then the person explains to me that the adult that lives in this house has been in the ICU for 13 days at a level 1 trauma center. So on a ventilator, unconscious.
And the girlfriend didn't think that there's something. 4 dead animals. Nothing yet.
So we have a person in the hospital, ICU, unconscious, ventilated, and 4 dead animals.
Just put this in perspective. From the time of arrival to where we are right now in the story, how long?
35, 40 minutes in that range.
Okay.
And we're now putting it all together, and
And no entries have been made from the hazmat. It's just fire went in, came out, bringing her out. EMS is in the ambulance,
Right.
and nobody's gone inside. But
Correct.
we are doing surveying.
we're just about to
with
make
Tyvek.
entry.
We had just surveyed the ambulance. That's the only.
That's
survey.
it. Okay, that's where
So
we
they,
are.
they had already been sitting there with her for 20, 25 minutes before we got there. So we wanted to expedite the transport and take care of that problem before we dealt with the problem that was in the building.
And keep in mind, she's not reporting any symptoms.
She's just hanging out,
Right.
right?
So
Well, I would expect that. If she was getting a little woozy, I would really be like, this is not Mercury. Like, that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
But
So-
at this point, you've already confirmed the Mercury
We
in the
have
ambulance
Mercury.
has already been confirmed.
Right.
Okay.
So now I'm getting into the questions. Okay, so how do you know that this is Mercury? Why did they give us this as Mercury?
Yes.
So she says that the person who lives in the apartment, a relative, is a dentist.
Was a dentist. Like
Was
years
a
ago.
dentist years and years ago, and this guy had got a hold of a bag full of fillings.
I didn't know dentists should just kind of quit.
I
thought
think
that was
he
you're
passed
in for
away
life.
probably.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, something like that. Whatever.
So
He died out.
He died.
So
expired,
the
yeah.
person gets a hold of a bag of fillings and is cooking the fillings on the stove to get the silver. He wants the silver.
In a 12-inch cast iron skillet.
Wow. Okay.
That's
yeah.
a good. Yeah,
good idea.
I like it.
And there was, he did have a hood over the stove, but it was a recycling hood that just kind of filtered some of the particles out, and it was just blowing everything back into the apartment.
Hand it to him. That's
Yeah,
that's
and
the,
then- yeah.
you know,
It
Right
was,
into his
it wasn't
nose,
vented
right
right
to his
into
mush.
the area.
and that blows right into your face.
Yeah.
And then everything falls right on the floor.
Right.
And for anyone who's going, what's wrong with this scenario? There aren't silver in fillings.
No.
They're mercury fillings.
Right.
Okay. just so we're for those of you listening at home going, that sounds like a really good idea. Yet no, there's no silver
Right.
in
So
fillings.
it's a mercury amalgam, and this person thought it was silver, so he wanted to make a buck. So he's boiling it down to get some bits of silver out of it.
He's an entrepreneur.
I think he was shocked when the silver never became a solid after it cooled, because he was collecting it.
Uh-huh.
So we found his collection.
Yeah, we did.
So by just for everybody, so we can all track the same thing. When you put mercury on a stove and heat it up, you increase the volatility and therefore you increase
Right.
vapor production
It's not
exponentially.
It's not much, but it is so toxic that little increase is enough to get into you and really f up your system.
So
Okay.
we ended up asking. He did it for, 3 or 4 hours.
Yeah.
Okay, so it wasn't like he was doing this for weeks. It was just
did it
he
once.
put this pot on the stove and just stands in the blower.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
now,
right,
keep
right.
in mind that's at least 13 days ago from the time we're there. So and there's 2 other occupants in and out of that unit.
Okay, so 13 days ago he started doing this 3-hour batch. Over that time, he got sick and 4 animals
Yeah,
got
3
sick.
cats and a
Died.
dog.
Got sick. Well,
Yep.
I guess terminally sick would be the right word. But good.
Yeah, so 3 cats and a dog. So my buddy over there and I go in, immediately start getting, detectable levels.
You go in right your front door.
So it's on. Yeah, floor 2 is where the apartment was. So all up the stairs, we get in the apartment.
Right.
It was a smaller apartment.
And actually, even before we entered the apartment, there was a deceased cat in a animal carrier, out the front door.
Oh, yeah.
Had a
waiting for the.
Pretty hard death.
Yeah, it did not look like it died pleasantly. It was, and when we
You got pictures too. We'll show you.
when we started metering the deceased animal, I forget what the readings were. I think they were
Skyrock.
like
And
60.
basically these things all have fur, so that's probably
So it just stayed.
Yeah.
wow.
We might have gotten to the milligrams per meter cubed.
Yeah, it
one,
was-
1 or 2 milligrams per meter cubed.
The concentrations out of the animal were.
I've never personally seen anything in the milligrams.
Not even holding it over.
No, like
a spilt
over the
puddle.
piece.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, the animal died a very, very painful death. So from there we entered the building.
Yeah. So we went in. The skillet was still there.
Liquid mercury and
Liquid mercury in bags and different collection devices.
Hot in the apartment?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Keep in mind this apartment is basically a rooming house.
Okay.
So it's like a bedroom and a common room.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
tiny.
It's tiny. Yeah. So I mean, we had I'm looking at some of the readings. 103 micrograms. 59 micrograms. I mean, it was.
at the door kind of stuff.
Yeah,
I mean,
just-
this is far away.
Yeah, and this is 2 weeks now. So
2 weeks post.
Yeah.
So the guy, wait a second. The guy didn't even pick up the pot that he
no, it
did
was
2
also
weeks
sitting.
ago. It was just hanging out for 2 weeks.
From the looks of the apartment, they didn't pick up much.
Okay.
It was a lot of.
I'm tracking you now.
we're not.
Okay.
Not judging anyone, but.
No, but it is what it is. Okay, fine. So he's not making mac and cheese on
A
this.
lot of cockroach footprints going in and out of the pan.
All right, so
I was glad I had the Tyvek suit, even if there wasn't mercury.
Exactly.
right.
Fair enough.
So all right, so we go into this small 1-bedroom type apartment. We have the mercury in a skillet still 2 weeks post. Anybody in the apartment, anybody in the building at this point?
People, they evacuated the building, so we had some people that were standing by, just waiting to see what we were going to do. We wanted somebody from the city, somebody with some power to condemn the building, whether the health department, building department,
Or at least evacuate it. Like,
Yeah.
evict.
This was before your entry, or this ended up being after the entry, and you
This
guys
was a
found out what
discussion
they
we
were
were
doing?
having with the district chief.
Right. So,
Okay.
why don't you finish the readings on the interior, and then we'll hit that.
All right, so we went through and we like my pal over there and I looked at each other. We're just like,
What are we gonna do?
what are we doing with this? Like,
We're
this
giving
is-
the shoulder
This
shrug
is
here.
really bad. So we exit the apartment, and this will give you a good indication as to the neighborhood. As we're coming down the stairs, there was a homeless gentleman coming up the sidewalk, pushing a carriage, and he kind of just looked at us, and it was definitely not the strangest thing he saw that day, because he really didn't
He was like, "Hey,
give
what's
us a
going on?"
second look, and he kind of gave us a nod and walked by.
Meanwhile, we're in SCBA.
SCBA,
full-
Yeah, he didn't bother
and
him.
you just
So,
walking
He's
by.
like, I don't want change from these guys.
I'll keep it.
So they come out.
So we come out. So we were actually hot now. So we even just being in the apartment.
Not intentionally not touching things. You're hot.
Yeah, our feet especially.
Yeah.
So so we just hung out on the sidewalk and we had a little quick huddle. Like, this is way beyond anything that we've ever really even seen.
So there's got to be a really interesting conversation. So they come out, we're talking, and so again, we're at our first level of response, which is 5 technicians.
Right.
We normally clean up a mercury spill with those guys. So, the normal thought is, okay, so do we go to the next
Don't
level?
kick it, yeah.
Right, and go to 20 technicians. And these two were inside, and they're like, and do what? I'm like, well,
Good point.
clean it up. And like, we're not cleaning this up.
You could throw 200 at us. We can't make this
Right.
happen.
Yeah,
So
there was no making this clean.
So, so we've never had this discussion before, right? So now we're having the discussion 9 degrees out on the sidewalk. And we're like, so what do you mean we're not gonna be able to clean it up? And when they're telling you these are the readings we're getting inside, and it's everywhere. It's in the hallway, it's in the apartment, it's on the dead cat. And it starts settling in like, so what are you saying?
The
Like,
whole place.
Are we gonna condemn this whole building? And they're like, yeah, we're gonna condemn the whole building. I'm like, this is a 6-family, 3-story apartment building. What do you mean we're gonna condemn it
Yeah.
and shut it down for mercury? Like, it's a thermometer, we clean it up.
Yeah,
Right.
Not
No.
this time.
So we bring the incident commander over and we're like, we're gonna need some people who
Hey,
can
I
shut
got a
down.
funny story for you.
Yeah.
We got a
What
big
has 6 families and is not going to be here tomorrow?
Yeah.
So the interesting thing is, so we're a regional team, so we have, we don't have jurisdiction on those type of decisions, right? So now we have to brief the incident commander.
Right,
and
because
say,
you're consulting the incident commander
Correct.
at this
We
point.
work for them.
Right,
And
okay.
we provide guidance to the incident commander.
But of course, the incident commander is well versed in hazmat and totally understands everything you're about to tell him.
Absolutely.
Right.
Sure.
As with most incident commanders.
Right, and on board that we're about to shut down this building from mercury.
Perfect.
Right? Because that happens.
So it went smooth.
So,
Absolutely.
so even the fire department, we can evacuate buildings, but how do we condemn buildings for health issues, right? So now we need like a health agent or a building inspector. We
Yeah.
need somebody to basically condemn the building. And when you condemn a building as hazmat technicians, it's not very often we condemn buildings and order it evacuated in perpetuity. Like, that's it. It's done. The building
Right.
is done.
I've seen it for structural.
Yeah.
I've seen it for specifically. I've seen it. We're not condemning. You know what? Prevent reoccupancy. Like if you have a fire in a food where there's a
Adjacent,
food
right.
in like a row frame. Okay, fine. I can take. But I've never seen a entire structure taken down from hazmat.
Right.
Although I will say the Todd Burton one.
Yeah, where he
He
lights the
actually
house on fire.
burned somebody's
Yeah.
house down.
Oh
on
yeah, we
purpose.
saw that one. Yeah, that's a good one.
That was a good one.
That might be the only one I've heard
We'll
of.
talk about that later.
Okay, please.
Don't tell me that we're going to burn the house down.
No, but
Could you imagine that?
Oh my God.
That'd be
You
the
have to-
wrong thing to do.
we'll hit that later.
Okay.
This is an interesting discussion that comes up later. All right, so we're at the point now where we come out, we tell the incident commander that we're going to have to shut down the building and that there's nothing further that the regional response team can do.
Can I just get a small bit of information? This is a 6-story,
Three-story.
3-story wood framed,
6 family,
like what, 40 by 80,
probably 20 by 40.
20 by 40, flat roof.
Your typical
I'm just trying to
three-decker.
build it in my head.
Tenement style,
Yep.
4 windows across.
Stoop in the front. I'm
Stoop
just
in the front.
building a picture in my head. Okay, good.
Tight.
Do you have pictures?
I'll pull up some pictures for right now.
One every 12 feet apart, 10 feet apart.
Got it.
A driveway. A driveway between each, and that's it.
Cool. Got it. I'm tracking now.
Yep.
So basically, we get to the point where we say, that's it, the building is done. And we're not going to go up to that next level because there's
There's
really
no reason.
nothing for us to do.
Yeah.
It's over. So now we get to the point where we start talking about the people again. So interviewing this person in the ambulance, we discovered that there is another person in the ICU. So while all this is happening and they're doing their entries, I get on the phone with the hospital. Now, I have to identify myself, say who I am, what I'm trying to do, and you're trying to get the right person on the phone.
Yeah.
So he's in the ICU, and I want to speak to the attending physician. So you got to go through the whole thing when you get to the hospital operator.
Yeah, you get the switchboard,
Right.
you get the attendant,
Right. Then I get to the nurse.
the registrar.
Right. And I'm like, I really need to speak to the attending physician
Now.
about a person in your hospital now. So I start explaining to the physician where I am, what I'm doing, and the person that we're talking about. And he's like, no way. He's like, we've had him here for 2 weeks, and he's in bad shape. So then I said, by the way,
Did they have any idea what was going on?
it did not sound like that.
Okay.
So Dr. House was not on duty.
No. But
Okay.
here's where it gets really good.
No,
Here's where
Dr.
it gets
House
really
is
good.
not on.
No.
So I said, your patient is highly contaminated with mercury
Right now.
in your ICU, and his visitor that is there with him now, which also lives in that apartment, so this is the third person visiting him now, is also highly contaminated. I can guarantee you. Like, I'm not metering them now, but I'm metering the person
From
I
the
just-
phone, I'm
Right.
telling you this.
Right.
So you're gonna need to isolate them, get their clothes off, the visitor's clothes,
In a negative pressure room,
and
like,
we'll stop working on this
yeah,
now.
post haste.
And so the doctor's like, are you kidding me? I'm not kidding you.
Everybody that's touched them.
So I told him, I said, Doc, I'm going to write up an email for you with the details, because I just can't express to you over the phone how serious this is and give you numbers and have you walk away and forget what the numbers were.
You've heard us talk about First Line Technologies' Dahlgren Decon solution and their FiberTech wipes and mitts. They've just come out with Enhanced Decon Systems Kit, which contains everything you need to quickly decontaminate 6 to 24 operators and all their gear in one fully equipped grab-it-and-go bag. This kit has been hazmat team tested and approved, and it's the only full-team modified decon kit with the power of Dahlgren Decon and FiberTech wipes to counter hundreds of known and emerging threats. The EDS kit is perfect for incidents where a small footprint, low logistics decontamination SOP is appropriate. Are you operating in a harsh environment? No problem. Whether it's minus 10 or 104 degrees F, Dahlgren Decon will maintain its effectiveness and can be easily applied to neutralize threats. The kit is stable in temperatures from minus 40 to 160 degrees F if you carry the RSDL with you. If you use all the consumables in the kit, unlike other rapid deployment kits, you do not need to buy a complete kit to resupply. Just purchase one of the First Line EDS replenishment packs and order just the elements you need. When ounces count and the clock is ticking, grab the EDS kit and go. Call the guys at First Line Technology for more information or a quote at 703-955-7510 or email them at sales@firstlinetech.com.
So I wrote an email to the doctor, sent it to his email, indicating all the readings we were getting and what we had done in our suggestions on this is what you need to do in this hospital. So this whole thing just starts kind of like expanding. Crazy.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
out of curiosity, from like a kind of an quasi-incident command point of view, you're at the point where you know there's nothing you can do with here. Why not just move the incident to the hospital?
That's a great
and-
Funny you should mention that.
Well, all right, so wait, before we get to that, what's the time frame? Where are we at right now where you're making this phone call?
Oh, within the hour.
Yeah, 45 minutes into the incident.
Okay, I just want to keep
Okay.
that
We're
time
moving fairly quickly,
chronological.
yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like you are.
Yeah, we're moving quick.
Because it's good that you took the property, not a priority.
Done.
Now it's the people.
Right.
And so now we're addressing the people problem.
And a
So-
little quick background on hospitals, especially if they have a level 1 trauma center. They are trained in a process called first receiver. So hospitals should be trained to be able to do decon and things like that. The problem is that they do that through the ER, and they are notified of people on the way. They generally do not have things set up for people already in the hospital that is contaminated.
Yes.
So that's interesting.
Yeah. So one of the funny parts is that the level 1 trauma center was his second stop. He went to the local emergency department in the city, and he just decompensated.
And they said,
Yeah,
put
he
him to
started,
someplace
he
to get
started
an
having
ambulance.
organ failure and things like that, and they had no explanation as to why he was so sick.
Okay.
They transferred him to the major trauma center to
Whatever
give
transported him is contaminated. Oh my God.
Yeah.
So this is good because they don't know he's contaminated, and neither does the local hospital, nor does the transport ambulance. And then it gets even better with how did he get to the hospital in the first place?
An Uber. Oh no, good God. I just threw that out there as a joke.
Yes.
Oh no.
Wow.
So this goes just on. So now we got to try to figure out.
We dropped the ball of yarn.
Yeah.
That's what happens. So it's like trying to pick it up.
All right,
Pick it all
so we got to track down that. We got to track down the ambulance that did the interfacility transfer. We got to contact the local emergency room that had the first patient contact, and we also have the person that we interviewed in the back of the ambulance is now getting ready to leave. We're going to let them go now. So that person is young. So we said we're going to send this person to a children's hospital.
Okay.
So I call the children's hospital, I speak to the charge nurse, and they say, please do not send that person here.
They refused to pay.
We don't have the decon facilities that we have across the street at the major trauma center.
Right.
So they wouldn't accept him in that hospital. We had to send him to a different hospital.
That's incredible. That's all right. So I'm just trying to wrap my head around this whole thing. So all right. So the person, besides the fact that this person was young and this guy's been in the hospital for 2 weeks and they are probably underage to be staying home by themselves alone. We'll put that to the side for right now. But I wouldn't. What I'm thinking about is how do you call Uber? Like, how do you call Uber and say, hey, you guys did a run, you did a transport in XYZ city 3 days ago. They're going to be like, there's like 11 billion runs we did in that area in those 3 weeks. How the hell did you figure out?
So we didn't figure out it was done after. They did find it. They did survey the car, and it was okay.
I wouldn't even.
Well, you got.
What do you do? Call an Uber and say, hey, call your friend?
Yeah, but you got so much stuff like the sheets that the patient was on the gurney for the transport were probably
laundered.
washed and laundered
Yes.
in hospital sheets in mass bulk. Like
The timing of this makes it so difficult because there's so many touching
weeks.
points. 2 weeks of touching points.
So to further complicate the issue, we have a jurisdictional issue, a boundary issue, because this city, the major metropolitan trauma center and medical facilities are in a different state.
Oh wow.
oh, how did that?
Well, that's why we didn't relocate.
That's why we didn't relocate to the hospital.
We weren't allowed. We're not allowed to cross state lines.
So we
allowed
had
to cross state lines.
So
There
we
was
had
no
to
mutual
pass
aid
this
agreement.
off to another entity.
Who were like, thanks.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
Holy.
It's very challenging, actually.
So, all right. So at some point, you guys are gonna be kicking this up, as far as leadership or supervisory, to the next level. I mean,
Is there a federal agency that does interstate hazmat?
So the EPA is critically involved into this.
okay, because that's a national level thing. That's the only way you're gonna jump the line.
Yeah, but this
Right.
is this was
But
a
that was
couple days.
follow-on.
Yeah, don't forget
Yeah.
it's Saturday now.
That was follow on.
Never
Good
happens.
point.
Never happens on Tuesday morning.
Yeah.
Was there was there a discussion like, hey, we have to go do this, no, you can't cross those lines? Or was it kind of like one of those, we're gonna... Okay.
Yeah. All right. Well.
It just is what it is. There's a different state line, so it's
Yeah.
just,
We sent someone. We sent someone across.
This honestly would be, I'm not going to say simple, but simpler up to this point, because the story's getting more ridiculous. If it wasn't for a state problem or a state line problem or a county line problem, you could still handle this thing. I would still be like, all right, this is crazy, but I can still handle it. This is almost like an insurmountable problem now.
We sent another technician with a Jerome to assist the hospital in receiving that girl.
Just to do the right thing.
Yeah, that's part. It's part of our response package now. As we've evolved as a team. I'd say 1 out of every 5 incidents involves contaminated people. So we send a technician because of experience, having the boots on the ground in the emergency department to act as a conduit for the flow of information and have a little bit of PPE knowledge
feeding back to the incident commander.
So when we walk into an emergency room and say, hey, listen, don't worry about this, do this. Gloves, boots.
They love it.
They love it.
That goes
and the
a long way.
The feedback has been tremendous.
Long way.
So we're actually formalizing that program because it's just been such a wild success. But again, this being an issue with the state boundary.
Well, we kind of do because we will transport with hazmat techs
Yeah, I guess we do.
So those
I guess we
hazmat
do.
for us in
We
our
don't do it.
jurisdiction, we don't do it, but we are sending people who are
Who do
officially trained and can reach out to us if they have any questions. But no, if you've ever done a first receivers program, it is literally like they're like, oh hey, Bob the janitor's on the team and he gets called and he does decon, and Joanne the nurse up in ICU will get called and she's doing vitals and she's part of this team. They don't actually
like a task
have,
force
It's like a
thing.
task force. They don't actually have any real knowledge in hazmat. They just try to clean the patient to get them into the hospital. So to have a representative there is, I mean, you want to talk about greasing the wheels to make everything go smooth.
Yeah.
It was really revolutionized how we deal with the hospitals, having guys go out there, especially the right guys. You get someone like and you get someone that's a really good medic and a really good hazmat tech. Well, not this guy. It really becomes an asset to have him there. This incident, we sent one of those guys like that there, and we told he's not allowed to go.
The guy's
Pull back.
actually a trained nurse practitioner too.
Yeah.
So we have some, we have some sleepers on our team that are just
Right.
We get a lot of depth.
That interact with them very well and speak the languages and
We were told don't let him out of the car, put him back in the car and send him home.
So we've got a situation that rapidly expanded. You've got state line issues going on. I mean, your hot zone essentially went from a building to a multi-city, multi-state jurisdiction. How do you deal with that?
So luckily, this kind of expanded beyond our scope in terms of emergency response. So it's now come to a much larger non-emergency type follow-up type thing. So, federal agencies are now involved. They're tracking down the car that he was in. They're tracking down the ambulance. They're doing the patient belongings at the hospital. So other agencies are kind of taking over at this point. EPA
type
yes,
agencies?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So state and federal, environmental.
Resources.
Yeah.
So, dude, it's so much to unpack here, and I think everybody's kind of like reeling with this one. But what would you say? I'd like to do a couple like where are we now kind of stuff, and then like maybe just like a where are we going, like where.
So interesting. So I have a good relationship with the right to know officer for this community, and we kept in touch a lot. And so he called me the next day and he said, "Hey, I'm doing some work on this." He goes, "What do you think we should do if we have a fire in this house?" So
Run.
So it's interesting. I directed him to the EPA monitoring guide tables that has a Mercury table in it.
Right.
And I said, you could call us again, and we do fire ground air monitoring for industrial fires and things that involve hazardous materials. We do air monitoring all the time for that type of stuff. And I said, for this house, it should be a pre-plan to have us come out.
Right.
And we'll monitor the smoke and all that stuff for what you're getting from Mercury. But interesting question. What if there's a fire in this house? The other thing, even at the scene, we want to terminate the utilities. It's 9 degrees out. If we shut off the gas, the pipes are going to freeze. So we're getting into all those discussions with the building inspector who's with us.
Even when they raise the building, if that ever happens, if they knock this building down, they're going to fluff up Mercury again.
So the other thing is now we have these people from the apartments. We're like, hey,
you can't go home no more.
yeah, you can
And
get
all
like the
your
bare
belongings.
essentials like medication, get some clothes.
Yeah, not the teddy
No,
bears,
and
because
there's-
that's all
there's
infected.
there's animals up there. So like, you take the bare essentials, and you're never coming back here again.
So we're offering them like booties. Like we'll give you some booties.
Yeah.
We'll go up with you, and like your cell phone, like a
You
couple
point,
things.
I'll pick.
So my favorite story of this whole thing is I'm talking to the occupants, and I said, okay, we're going to condemn the building. You're not going to ever be able to go back in there. I said, we're going to give you some booties. You can go back up. He says, I'm good. I said, no, like right now, this is your chance. Right now, while we're here, we're going to go back. Yeah, I'm good. I'm like, so there's nothing in your apartment you want to get? No. And I'm like,
All right.
no, seriously, can I just bring you up to your apartment?
Yeah, it'll make me feel better.
Right. I'll get your stuff for you. Like, I'll help you. And he's like, no, I'm good. And then he just walked away. And I'm like, what is happening here?
His wife's up there, I bet.
Oh, yeah.
She's sleeping. He gave her extra NyQuil.
Like, who doesn't need a phone charger, a wallet,
Yeah,
shoes,
something.
anything? Like, it was bizarre.
This whole call was surreal.
Oh,
It
and
was-
then this guy here too was funny. So we go up to the 3rd floor. Still, like contamination in the hall with detectable levels on every surface throughout this building, and he's chasing around a chihuahua in a Tyvek suit. It was hilarious. Trying to pick the
Trying to
chihuahua.
grab dogs.
The dog's biting him.
Growling.
So this other guy, we let him get his stuff, and then that was it. We came down. Everybody that went in with the boots had detectable levels of mercury on their feet as they came out of the building.
Can I ask one backup question? But where were you monitoring? What level is it? Was it like seated breathing level, which is the typical standard, or were you monitoring waist or
No, most of
knee?
your feet. You start at the feet. You work
Start
your
You
way up.
started at your
And-
feet.
and-
So
and
some of these levels are low.
Yeah, because the 2nd floor actually was really contaminated, and as people were going up the stairs to the 3rd floor, it was just contamination going all the way up. So we started low and then worked our way
Okay.
up, going through the
Just out of
apartments.
curiosity, I was
Because
just-
those were our highest levels down low from the
It was-
contamination of the feet.
Yeah, it was unbelievable to see we had the sheet from the EPA and like just how widespread this was and the levels and where it ended up. It was just crazy. Reviews. My friend over there can review some of that.
Thanks, buddy.
What we ended up doing, but everybody we brought out, we monitored the yellow chicken boots, and everybody had mercury. So we just firing the stuff back in the building.
Yep.
We stripped down, fired everything back in the building.
Yeah.
Decon the SCBA.
Close the door, put the sticker on.
Yeah, that's what we did. That was
Yep.
like literally that's what we did. We just threw all our shit in the front door, and shut the door.
Yeah.
Like there was nothing to do. We couldn't.
So today there is a 400,000 BTU heating unit on site, and they're doing cycling of heating, venting, heating, venting, heating.
So they're
venting.
trying to volatilize it off and then burp it out.
Right. So that's currently what the EPA is doing there.
Oh, EPA's doing this.
Right. And
Wow.
when they first estimated, it was in the millions. And right now, I think they're at $500,000 roughly for the cleanup so far.
Which is probably what the building.
Dollars.
So the building's not even worth that.
No, the building's gonna be under 250,
Right.
$250,000 value on it, because it's not.
They
But-
should just buy it and dump it.
But you can't. So
No, you can't do.
Everything's contaminated when.
So
when
we
you're knocking
That's
down,
all
when you bring
hazardous
it.
waste.
and it would be a building's worth of hazardous waste, which is not. It's not worth it.
Right, because they do that by the pound.
Right.
So, oh my goodness. Wow.
So it's still happening now. So that was February, and we're in June, and they're still doing heating, ventilation.
Yeah, the EPA was all over this, and then it just took off. But nobody's ever been back in the building like none of
From
the
us.
occupants. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. So what were are there things changing? I'm sure agreements are being drawn to address this in the future. That kind of stuff. Do you think you need? And I hate to hang all this onto one type of meter, but because mercury is not statistically a huge meter for, like gasoline, diesel, those type of things are. That's why we have 60,000 gas meters.
Yep.
Are you guys gonna get more mercury meters? Or?
No, I mean we deal with mercury fairly. Like I said, it's kind of like a
You get a
routine
few calls
for
a
us.
year, and they're always screwy calls. There's
Yep.
one or two that are straight
So one of the
forward,
ones,
that's the case.
so because
Yeah.
because we're close to the ocean.
Yeah. Okay.
The antique ships barometers used to have mercury in
Yes.
them to keep to measure the
And they would
barometric
float
pressure.
up and down and-
so some rich guy buys a huge ship's barometer and comes home in his $2 million home.
Oopsie.
And puts it on the table, and at night the barometric pressure changes and pushes like a pound of mercury out into this guy's house. That was a job we had, and that was probably the biggest mercury spill I had seen in my career.
Right.
And it was a pretty good amount of mercury, but other than that, it's the routine stuff.
And so if we think about science, right? So the mercury that he dealt with in that call was a larger volume, guarantee, than what we dealt with here.
Mhm.
But what we dealt with here was volatilized mercury.
Yes.
Right.
Volatilized mercury, it cooked at a high degree.
Yes. And then it clings to
clings,
every
yeah.
surf, every
Yeah,
nook and cranny, hair, back of the picture frames. I mean,
Yes.
everything's hot.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
So once we communicated to the hospital that it was it was mercury
Yeah.
poisoning this guy was suffering from, they were able to give him chelating agents. The guy, they were expecting him to die within 40.
'Cause they couldn't
48
figure it
hours.
out.
Yeah, they couldn't figure it out. It's just organs were shutting down. He was having, You know, so they were able to actually, didn't they save the guy?
He's alive.
He's alive.
They didn't run
Oh, we wrote
heavy
them.
metal test as part of the blood work?
From what I understand, they did have blood work out being tested, but it hadn't been come back yet.
Right.
So they did not have that
So,
information.
so the funny part, not funny, but the young female that we transported, she started to become symptomatic. They gave her chelating agents, which clogged up her kidneys, and she actually suffered. She's definitely going to have long-term medical issues from this exposure.
Oh, wow.
But yeah. It was,
Wow. So what else do you think you guys lessons learned? We'll say. What do you want to?
So we debated for ad nauseum decon of the person that was in the ambulance. So at the scene, we fought about it. In the car rides, we fought about it. In the bar room, we fought about it. Pretty much every way you can think of.
We
we
still
fought
fought
about
on the
it.
ride down
We're still
here.
thinking about it.
On the ride down here, we're fighting about.
Well, what are the options? I mean,
Okay.
I'd love to
So-
actually explore
Actually,
this
so
thought
now
process.
I have one in my head. So I recently talked to Bobby about dry decon
Right.
in the wipe spray wipe. So I was thinking recently, like if we had the firefighting wipes, we could have had her in the ambulance by herself, give her a bucket of wipes, stand in a trash bag, and just wipe yourself down. That probably would have been more effective than spraying with a pre-connect in the street, even whether it was summer or not. Wiping down, head down, just herself, just to give her a bucket of it, say, clean yourself, we'll give you 15 minutes, stand in a trash bag, drop them all in the trash bag when you're done.
Right.
So, talking to you about your dry decon, now I'm thinking, in 90-degree weather, with a person who's not, if they have an acid on them, they're begging you to put water on them, right? So in this case, she's like, what's wrong with me? And it's like, well, I need you to clean yourself before you go to the hospital. Here's a bucket of wipes. We were talking about dry keep decon last night.
Yeah, because it's a real challenge because all the data and all of the information that's out there, it seems like is in a 68-degree like
Everything's
utopia.
at
You know? So it's like, but they're not thinking of the 9-degree day in the middle of a city.
Right.
So it's,
Or the 100-degree apartment
Yeah.
that's closed up in February, or the outside it's 26 degrees, or we have this elaborate plan that we're gonna have set these mass decon 2 engines with fog nozzles, and the people are just gonna run through like in the pictures, and it's like no, they will climb over the rigs to get out of that. They're like cats.
They
don't
won't
want to
be there long enough for us to set that
And
up.
I've
By the
always,
time we set it up, they call.
and I've always
It's
thought that
scattered
the
to the
person
winds.
who's grossly contaminated will put themselves in that shower. Everybody else is just going to get in their car and go home.
Right.
But that girl didn't even think she was contaminated.
Correct.
She would have just been like, just let me. Where do I sign?
Right.
Hey, let me go.
Yep.
So then the second thing that I was considering was when we let that ambulance leave the scene, we should have probably put a tech in the front seat with the gerometer and brought it with her. And because the building is no longer a priority. The building can wait. For the
Right.
second
Emergency versus non-emergency. That building is not an emergency
meter.
anymore.
Correct. I could have waited for the second meter, which was being ramped up. So we could have waited another half hour. We're all in overtime, right?
Right.
So, so putting the gerometer in the ambulance in the front seat, windows closed, the vent on in the back, to go to the hospital with the appropriate meter, with the appropriate technician, to handle the emergency. The emergency is the patient. The
Yes.
building survey can wait.
Windows open. It's cold, but the windows open. Get the vent going.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man.
And then that would have solved a lot of issues, later on with the hospital where they're looking for the same meter that I have at the scene. So if I just put a tech in the front seat, go with the ambulance, they're gone, they've left the scene.
Right.
There's no turning back. You have a patient in back.
Right.
plus the ambulance now is an asset that's needed in the city now. That's
Because they
us,
sat there,
they
right?
sat
They
there.
sat
They
there for a
sat
couple
there.
hours waiting for it.
waiting to be deconned, and the 2 paramedics had, like I said, detected.
They had to
needles.
be
They
checked
had-
out
yeah.
as well. Did they get chelated?
No,
that doesn't really.
no, they
Just wash it off.
they washed it off and
Good.
they were good, yeah.
Wow.
So good lesson learned. It was,
Holy cow.
you never know what you're going to face. Some of the best calls I've had, I've been on for 20-something years, and some of the best calls I had are hazmat. The other day we had a tier 1 response with $100 million worth of product in a building, and we had a 2-hour window before the cooling system started going down below a certain point where the food would go bad. Pressure cooker, I love it. The pressure cooker is great.
Right.
Like you have 2 hours to solve it before the $100 million.
Like it's an escape room of
Right,
hazmat.
right. Go.
Oh my god, that's a new
So,
thing.
do you
We're
wanna
gonna do
play-
the escape room of hazmat?
Do you want to play a game?
I have to edit that out.
So-
That's gonna be the next show.
My friend here had that, and I just love the pressure cooker thing. It's
We actually left that call. We got in the truck and we screamed to his city because they had a guy walk in with a 1 pot into the ER.
And that was a guessing game too, right? It's
Yeah.
a puzzle you got to figure out.
It
You
wasn't
walk
a true.
through
It wasn't a true 1
No,
pot.
the
He had
guy
some
was-
of the
there were two of
precursors
them?
there.
He was trying.
Yeah, it was. He was trying. We went and spoke to him, and he was a true.
But that's important too, though, because like that hospital thought it was a 1 pot, so you got to go there and rule out, like,
Yeah.
okay, you're safe. It's not. So it's just.
All right, we're gonna have to.
rule in,
That's
rule
another
out.
story.
Yeah, that was. So then
but
we
that
left.
was- yeah.
We left that scene to go to that scene, and then later.
Yeah. So it was a great exit strategy. So we're stuck there, right? We have this building, we have this person, and we're like, sorry, we got another run.
Yeah, the Irish exit out the side door.
Yeah. We all so we
Put
just
the brick on the siren and go.
left that incident, went to the next one. And
Just
then at
leaving
the
carnage
second
and
incident,
wreckage
we're like,
behind you.
What just happened?
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. Because the other, like, that's routine. You know, we kind of make everyone feel good at the hospital. Little magic
Oh
show.
my God. I cannot believe this. Well, listen. I know what.
I wonder if, this sounds incredibly cruel, but I wonder if you could take duct tape or chem tape and, like, you know how you take lint off of a sweater, off of a person that way. I mean,
I bet you it would be moderately
It'd be
effective.
moderate,
but not-
okay. What if
I
it'd
think
be-
soap and water is the most effective way of doing it. Though.
I wonder what the science behind that is, because I don't know how water interacts with liquid metal.
All right, if anybody out there wants to
get
take
some
let's take a swim in Mercury, and grab some duct tape and send us your results.
Would you float in Mercury, you think?
You would.
Yeah, you just.
Yeah,
Did you ever
yeah.
see? There's a guy, and I tried to get this guy on the show multiple times. His name is Cody. Cody. He stands in a drum of mercury and he floats on top. He puts bowling balls. He puts steel I-beams in it and floats on top. Incredible.
YouTube thing.
He's on YouTube. Awesome guy. Can't get him on the show.
Is he in the U.S.?
Yes, he's in like Utah or Colorado. Good dude.
I'm just
He's not
trying
dead
to.
yet.
I'm trying to think of like solubility. Like it's insoluble in water, so we add soap. But would
But I
it
think
be-
the surfactant lifts it off and it drains it away. Like the water carries it out.
right. But we think of that with oil. Like we always think of things that are either
They'll break
polar or
apart.
non-polar. Right. Like
It doesn't break
is it
apart,
even
doesn't
is
it?
it even soluble in oil-based solvents?
You know what? It might be in a NIOSH is what it might dissolve in, but I would bet
It's almost
ethers
impervious,
and-
like it's not gonna dissolve,
I'm
I'd
gonna
say.
say it's probably not.
stays-
So how does the soap interact on a
I think it
molecular
just
level?
literally lifts it off the surfactant. I'm thinking like you have skin oils, and
Oh,
again I'm
it-
riffing
it's-
on this. Skin oils, the mercury's on top, the surfactant lifts
Right.
the oil off, and with it comes the mercury,
Right.
and I think that's how
And
it
then
works.
what about the thought process of shaving? Let's say you get like a hairy guy or a dog. Like, hey, here, go shave.
I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm not shaving that chihuahua. It already bit me too many times. That's,
All right.
I'm drawing a line right there.
Well,
I'm not
You don't
shaving
shave your chihuahua?
No, I'm not
No?
shaving the chihuahua.
All right.
All right. On that note, we're not going to give you contact information for all these gents that are in front of us. If you have questions, which I'm sure there's going to be a million questions, send them to the Hazmat guys. And
Maybe we'll do a follow-up in a
Yeah,
couple
follow up in
months.
6 months. In
yeah,
Manhattan.
Or
yeah,
next
maybe we'll
year.
do that.
Yeah, in Manhattan.
In Manhattan. We'll come
great
down.
idea.
In Manhattan.
I'm a driver.
Send it to feedback at thehazmatguys.com. And
We could do a follow-up on the hazmat cruise.
it's too early for that.
Too early? Really? Is it too
It's
early?
never too early for the cruise. Stay tuned, folks. The Hazmat Cruise, put out by the Hazmat Guys. If you have a moment, please head over to iTunes and leave us a positive review. And don't forget to check out the book, National Emergency Response Hazmat Drills, or NERD, on Amazon.
Well, that wraps up another episode of the Hazmat Guys.
You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, and our YouTube channel at The Hazmat Guys. And take a moment to call our comment hotline at 843-628-1484 and go to www.thehazmatguys.com and sign up for the newsletter.
We seriously look forward to your feedback about any of the information provided, and we also want to hear about interesting incidents that you were a part of. So you can send us a note at feedback@thehazmatguys.com. And remember, any of the information that you share with us, if we put it on air, can always remain anonymous.
Remember, guys, don't just get on the job. Get into the job.